Rob.
Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Rogues, and today we're taking a look at the DC Comics Multiverse by Mattel. This is a figure that I've been waiting for a very long time. This is Batman Year 2, The Reaper. This is the rookie wave. Now, it's been a little second since I reviewed Batman, the Rebirth Batman from this line. So I'm trying to remember what I said. I should probably go back and have listened to my review before it. I had said during Batman's review that I definitely wanted to get a hold of the Reaper and maybe pick up Duke Thomas, and that was a maybe. I had no interest in picking up Robo Bunny Suit Batman. And then something happened. As you know, I bought Batman from Walmart.com, had that big sticker on it. I made a trade on Facebook. I bought a figure from somebody on Facebook and from a DC Collectors Exchange group, and he hooked me up very well. The name is escaping me, so I'm going to put an annotation that's going to scroll right through here. So thank you, sir. And I thought, okay, I got the two that I wanted, and I'm probably not going to see this wave in stores, so I'm not even going to worry about the other figures. And then I saw the rest of the wave in the store. The only figure in the store that I have yet to see so far is the Reaper, but I've seen Batman, Duke Thomas, Batwing, and the Atom. I broke down, bought Batwing, and a week or two later, I found Duke Thomas. And then I was like, I am one figure away. And I saw the Atom at the same store. I saw these other three right here, and I thought, now it's just, I'm one figure away. The Walmart that we were at was quite a ways away from where we were, so rather than make the drive, I just broke down, went on Amazon, and bought the Atom. So I will be completing this whole thing, and I'll get more into what kind of made me want to complete the Robot Bunny, Jim Gordon, Batman, and I bought another figure because I got this, but I'll get to that once I get into this actual particular review. So let's probably bring this back to the Reaper. The write-up on his box says, Jason Caspin, alter ego, will his murderous crime spree force Batman to make an unformidable partnership with Joe Chill? So, Year 2 was one of the first Batman stories I can remember reading, and where that comic book went, or those comic books went to, I have no idea. This November is going to be the 30th anniversary of Year 2, so that's going to be pretty cool in and of itself. So it's getting a nice hardcover reprint that's going to also include, we'll have Year 2 obviously, and we'll include the Circle, which is kind of the continuation of the Year 2 story. So let's stop the rambling right here, and we will get a closer look at the Reaper and the Collect and Connect, and I will connect my first two pieces together from this wave that I didn't think I was going to do, but now I am. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. And here is the upper torso of the GCPD Robot Bunny Batman. I keep saying Robot Bunny. The ears do look like a bunny. But anyway, this is the armored suit that Jim Gordon Batman was wearing. This does appear in Detective Comics. I'm just going to say it right now. In Detective Comics, Duke Thomas takes Jim Gordon's Batman suit and turns it into basically just a robot that he can control, and they can have, you know, a robot or a sentient, if I'm saying that word right, presence out there. So the only other piece I have so far is a leg. So far, I believe this is the right leg. Yes, the right leg. So you can see right now, I have nothing to connect with at the moment. So this piece came from Batman, and obviously this came from the Reaper. So nothing to connect yet. In the next review, I'll be able to connect something here is the Reaper somewhere. Out of package, and he looks great. I thought the chest piece up front was a little too big, but it does kind of fit in with the comic book quite a bit. My good buddy Chapman Films has already reviewed this figure. This was also a story he read and enjoyed quite a bit. So a really cool figure. And this was something when we saw these Toy Fair images probably about a year ago that a lot of us were like, holy crap, is Mattel going to do the Reaper? And I've been saying it from the last few reviews that I've been posting from Mattel figures, which I feel like my channel has gone right back to where it originally started from with Mattel, is that they are putting out real quality figures lately. I mean, this is just a very well-made figure. The detailing is excellent. Even though this is almost an all-red suit, there is some shading, some light blacks, like a faint black wash is over the bodysuit. It's kind of picking up the detail. Let me raise the camera ever so slightly so we can see a little bit better here. But the detailing looks really good. And Chapman Films had said what would make this figure better is if you could see the red eyes. And I believe he said that there are very faint, you can just see the red eye in there. Right there, see it? It's easier to see it with the naked eye than it is on camera. I've got my trusty cell phone here. Let's turn the camera light on. There we go. There you can see the eyes. So that's pretty creepy and cool. So that works pretty good. But the rest of the detailing looks really good. So as you can tell, like there's just this black wash ever so slightly on here. The shin pads, spikes on the boots, knees, arms. You can see some of that black wash kind of show up more here. Just a well-made figure. I feel like lately that a lot of us reviewers have been saying things like, I never thought in my wildest dreams we were going to get a Reaper action figure. If you would have said, hey, one day Mattel is going to do a Reaper figure, I would have said, you're crazy. There's no way they're going to do a Reaper. Who knows who the Reaper is? So I think this is another thing that I really like that Mattel is doing. They're taking some chances in with some of these figures and going deep in some of the comic stuff. Now we got some TV universe figures in here, which when I get to the Atom, I'll talk about it then. At the time I'm shooting this review, the Atom is not here to me yet, so by the time I've uploaded, obviously it will be. Or why would I have it? So anyway, let's take a look at the articulation on this guy, then we'll get into his accessories in just a minute. So focus, there we go. So his head can look left and right. It kind of, the back part of the hood kind of gets in the way a little bit, but he can clearly turn for any posability. No up or down, just more of a little bit of where the wobble would be in it. The cape really doesn't get in the way too much. If you wanted to replace the cape with a cloth cape, you would need to kind of transport this piece back on the costume somehow, but there's no need to do that. I think the cape looks great the way it is. The arms are on the standard ball and socket. Now, it does get in the way of the arms being able to go all the way up, obviously because of the way this is. The arms can go up here, but they do not. They have the ability to rotate all the way around, but again, because of the cape, they're not going to. So there's almost like a ratchet. I heard Chapman Films say he had a ratchet. Can you hear that there? So that's odd, but there's a bicep swivel, single bend at the elbow, and it's kind of tucked away, and I like how it's in behind the elbow here, the elbow, like elbow pad. So that's kind of cool. No gauntlets, rotation or anything. There's a twist at the wrist. The hands do come off because of the blades, and we'll talk about that in a second. There's an ab crunch. Pretty decent. He can get his back to arch back quite a bit farther and forward pretty quick. Pretty decent twist at the waist. The T-jointed legs. Slightly a little different, not too much. They go forward, back, not much at all, just because of the way the butt is cut. Upper thigh, single bend at the knee and a bend at the foot, slightly, not too much. Like I said, the hands come off, they just kind of twist out, and then the sickle blades go in. Now, we had the sickle blades in from time to time, both, but generally you saw him with one, so I think what I'll probably end up doing is posing him with just one. So that is pretty cool. And the cape really kind of helps hold him up. I mean, he could be a little back heavy just because of the way how much of the cape was here. If it was just off the ground and there's a lot of plastic here kind of off the back, he could possibly tip over. But like I said, the cape is long enough to the back, it actually supports the figure, so you're not have to worry about him falling over. What I want to do is bring up the Batman that is made in figure form to kind of go along with the Reaper. So let's check that out. So there is the crime solver Batman, Detective Batman, superpowers-ish Batman, the Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil Batman that would have been in for the story. There is the Nightfall Batman that does have the scratch going across the costume. As Chapman's film says at one point in the comic that the hook here does go across Batman's chest and kind of scratches up his costume, so it would work, rather well with that. But just the classic blue and gray Batman with the yellow and black oval is the Batman of choice for this figure, and both of them look great together. Again, I can't believe I have a Reaper figure. Like I said before, if I had the Rebirth Batman and the Reaper, I was completely happy with just those two, but having now the whole wave does feel pretty good. So again, a great figure. What do I rate this figure? Good, bad, shouldn't have made it, good. It's a really solid figure. If you can get a hold of the Reaper, I definitely recommend it. Final thoughts on the Reaper. Again, I've said it a couple times already in this review. Just a great looking figure. This just calls right back to my childhood. Again, of one of the first stories that I read as a kid, and just kind of really cemented me being a Batman fan, and Robin, of course. But the Reaper was one, other than like the cartoons and the 60s show of the Riddler, Catwoman, and the Joker. This was one of the first comic book villains that I remember reading, and I would really kind of like to see the Reaper make a comeback somehow. I think he's a cool character, but if we don't get him back in the comics, at least I've got him back in action figure form. Today we've been taking a look at the Reaper from Mattel's DC Comics Multiverse line. This is the Year 2 Reaper and from the Rookie Wave. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues signing off, saying we will see you guys next time.